folks, how are you? As I said in the chicken there, as I said on the post in the group, I've changed up a bit the 5-day challenge, and I've introduced some new topics into it. And one of those new topics is carbs, where I talk about carbs. So I thought I'd record this video for you. So if you went through the 5-day challenge, over 6 months ago now, you can still have this video. Okay, so let me describe to you what happens to carbs when we eat them. So we eat them and we start to break down the carbohydrate, which turns to sugar, and it goes into our bloodstream. Now, when it's in our bloodstream, normally in non-type 2 people, when our blood sugars get to a certain level, the pancreas releases insulin. This is the insulin, and it starts shuttling off the sugar into our cells, right? Off it goes into the cells as glycogen. Off we go. However, when you're type 2, this insulin is still released from the pancreas, but it doesn't work properly. It gets very lazy. It's like, oh, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. So that's why, and sometimes it'll go, oh, I can be bothered with that one, and that'll go. But quite often it'll be like, oh, can't be bothered. Yeah. And therefore our blood sugars stay quite high in the blood. So that's, in essence, type 2 diabetes, okay? And that how we reverse this insulin resistance and make the insulin really lively again is lose weight. I know, lose weight. But that, it is, the evidence is there. And so that's how carbs are broken down, how our insulin works with them. Now, our bodies do not need carbohydrates. We function better with them, with starchy carbs, and obviously carbs include vegetables and fruit, and they've got lots of lovely fibre and vitamins and minerals in them, so we're better with them, but we don't actually need them. But we perform better with them, and let's be honest, they're quite nice to eat, aren't they? We'll be honest. And, we can break those carbohydrate sources down into starchy and non-starchy. So non-starchy tend to be your fibrous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, mushrooms, things like that. And starchy are the things like potatoes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, couscous, pasta, those sorts of things. Right, so as I said, we don't need carbs, but they contain a lot of things that are actually quite good for us. And fibre is really important. So fibre has been shown in studies that people who eat a lot of fibre are a lot healthier in terms of their blood markers, things like cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, being overweight. They're a lot healthier. Now, that could be down to the fact that because they eat a lot of fibre, they're more health-seeking individuals anyway. We could argue that, but being a health-seeking individual is good for us. It makes us healthy. And also, fibre is really good for our gut health. And this studies are starting to show now that gut health is really important to our overall health. Okay, so fibre is really important, getting those fibre sources in there. And we should be eating between 25 and 30 grams of fibre a day. And we don't. I struggle because things like beans and pulses and stuff like that contain loads of fibre in give me IBS constipation. So I do suffer there a little bit. Now, there's 2 types of fibre, insoluble and soluble. Insoluble speeds up the flow of poo. Yeah, we're talking poo. And soluble slows it down. Okay. Now, the other question that I get asked all the time about carbs is how much can I eat? And this is a really good question. And before I answer that, I'm going to talk about low carb diets. So in most of the studies, low carb diets for the first 6 months show better results than normal higher carb diets. However, after 6 months, the evidence isn't there either way to say whether they're better or not. And the conclusions is that it's harder to stick to low carb longer term. So longer term, we just cannot stick to low carb diets. So what I do with my paid clients is I say to them, have 2 portion controlled starchy carbs a day. And that might be 2 slices of bread, small portion of potatoes, something like that. And that seems to work. It gives you the ability to have some starchy carb in your diet and get some fibre in there and things like that. But we're controlling the amount we're eating. So what I would say to you is, how much carb can I have? Is how much carb do you need to be able to lose weight and do it consistently? If you need to have porridge for breakfast, sandwich at lunchtime, and some new potatoes in an evening, as long as it's all your food is calorie controlled and you're having protein at every meal and you're having your veggies at every meal and you're losing weight, then do that. Because what we need to do is get on a program or a way of eating where we're losing weight, because that is the way we get that insulin working again and stop being lazy. Okay, so that's it for carbs. Just to recap, our bodies don't need starchy carbs to survive, but they are beneficial, okay? Or carbs in general are beneficial. Remember, vegetables and fruit are carbs as well. Carbs tend to contain fibre, which is really good for our gut health and good for our health full stop. And how much can you eat? I say 2 portions a day, calorie controlled. But it's up to you in terms of how many you need to lose weight consistently and keep you focused, because getting that weight off is the most important thing for type 2 diabetics. Well, I hope that was interesting. Now, I do have a little addition for this. I've got a cheat sheet on how to get 30 grams of fibre for type 2 diabetics. So if you want that cheat sheet, then press the button above. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.